Obviously, D-Mac was not here when the news dropped about Jameson Williams. I do want to get his take on it. I kind of have some nuanced thoughts. I want to hear your guys' takes now that the emotion has subsided. And remember, we're dealing with the fact it's a 6-game suspension. That's it. He's back in October, which my take has largely remained unchanged from Friday. But D-Mac, by the way, Shane Sandrock, real quick, says, be bricked or be a bozo. So
bozo,
there's that
118,
as well.
I like it.
Yeah.
Brick, not bozo.
D-Mac, where did you weigh in on this? Has your opinion changed from the beginning to now? Get me up to speed. Where are you at with it all?
Well, you know what? Unfortunately, I missed out when the action, but I was glad that Terry was here and Sam was on the desk and you two yelled at each other. But you were both right. You know, it's no, like to some degree. Okay, can we agree? Stupid rule. Stupid to the fact that the kid wasn't betting on NFL, but the rule was, and trust me, it's coming from a guy who didn't like the rules, that pushed the envelope, that suffered from it, to whatever. But the reality is what he did. You did the crime where it was tracked to whatever else, right, from the building. So now you're going to face your 6 games. To your point, he comes back out. He's ready to play. This refocus him or whatever else. He scores touchdowns. We look back in week 16, 17 and go, oh, remember that thing? You know, what happened? It's a bygone, right? It's irrelevant if he's producing and we're winning. To Sam's culture conversation, it is like when you're building culture, you just don't have culture. It's not a balloon. You don't blow it up and it's there. Right? This is, if you would say, a little chink in the armor. But to me, it's more of locker room. Now, when I say don't tell me right or wrong, explain the why, I can explain the why. From a guy that has sort of wandered on his own path or gone astray at different times, especially when injured. Because what happens when you're injured in a professional league, right, is you're not the focus. Right? The team's the focus. So, yes, you have trainers and guys and stuff, how you're going to get back into it, but you're not part of the A squad, which means you have extra time on your hands, right? Which means that if you are not insulated, right, by somebody else, like here's the gosh darn truth, right? Back in the day, Neil, in the locker room, if I did something, was out, came hungover, still drunk to practice or whatever, you know, I didn't get in trouble. You know who got in trouble? Chris Draper. Because I was his responsibility. And then it would be because when you're your brother's keeper, that's what you don't have yet. But let's look at the why you have that culture built yet, because it's only 2 years in to this tenure. This is something that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are aware of. I think it's something that they will deal with, and it's something that it plays out. Now, you mentioned the fact that he didn't do anything wrong. Rules are rules out, no matter how stupid they are or want. I'm the first one to stand up here and argue logistics to whatever else. But in this case, you did the crime, you got to do the time. What I want to see is, do you spend this time focusing on football? Because I think the bigger question is, and I asked this question in the back to the boys, I said, when we think of Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? There is no question that guy's 100% football focused first, right? When we think of Jameson Williams, what's your percentage on for him there? Mine isn't 100 as far as football focus. And I can understand that. Maybe this is a wake-up call, right, to the organization and stuff like this. But to see how it plays out, we have to wait. And this could be the greatest lesson, that it refocuses them, or it could prove to be a further problem.